Alright guys, Dokkan time, and today I'm going to be revisiting a how to build because on Global will be getting this EZA for STR, Sign, Omen, whatever you want to call this form. It'll be getting an EZA on Global. Now this EZA for this guy has been out since January for JP players, and most people already know how to use them, but there's kind of like a back and forth thing here. It's a full dodge build. It's a full dodge build. Unfortunately, I'm not a dodge advocate whatsoever. I'm really not. But I know a unit when I see it that it needs dodge or what it needs in general, and I'm not biased towards that. Now, it doesn't mean you can't put crit into him. You know, if you want to put crit in, put in crit into him. I'm just saying, I'm just Joe saying, that he's got built-in crit to a very high degree. Now, normally, I would also suggest that you increase the amount of additional because this guy can actually hit pretty decently hard. But aside from that, his primary job is the same thing as almost every single Ultra Instinct, Sign, Omen Goku in the game, and that is to dodge. You are a defensive tank, and that is what he's meant to do. The damage is a plus. So, I mean, obviously 200% at the time of writing, you know, this is this is when JP has gotten the tech LR Omen Goku that transforms into Ultra Instinct. So that is ideally probably the team you'll be utilizing him on. If you were not fortunate enough to get that unit as a leader, then there are several other 200% that you could utilize. But unfortunately, he doesn't have, in my opinion, he doesn't have a realistic 200% leader on Global as of right now. On Global, he does not have a realistic leader for 200% specifically. You can run this guy fine at 170. Like I said, his entire kit is primary for dodge, and that is how you should look at him. So he greatly raises attack and defense on 18, and then he raises attack and defense on 12 key. The greatly lowers defense is nice. If you can manage your key properly, you can probably pick or choose whichever one of these you want to take. I will say that he wants to be in slot 1, obviously, because he's a dodge tank primarily. To give your allies the 50% buff right here on Super. So you can only get that once because it's on his 18 key, but 50% boost to attack is pretty gnarly, not gonna lie. He's 177 attack and defense. He has a 70% chance to dodge right off the bat for 7 turns from his first appearance, from the start of the turn. So that means if you get him on turn 2, then he will have until turn 8. If you get him on slot 7, which means his first appearance will be on turn 3, then you will be able to wait until turn 9 until afterwards his 7 turn 70% chance will be gone. Now, in most cases of the game right now, more than likely you're never going to hit that 7 turn, you're not going to hit that 8 turn, 9 turn. It just really depends on your team. If you run an obviously crazy Reps of Universe 7 team and you just bulldoze through the event, you might not even hit that 7 turn restriction. But if you do hit that 7 turn restriction, you will only have a 50%. Now, the 50% chance is very unfortunate because in my personal experience, 50% chance might as well be no chance. I don't know what it is. It's literally a coin flip at that point. Maybe that's why. But he does get an additional evasion chance plus 7% until this character gets attacked per other rep of Universe 7 attacking in the same turn. So he can get a total of an extra 14% chance to dodge right there. And I believe he still has more wrapped around his dodge mechanic actually. Reps of Universe 7 attacking in the same turn. An additional defense of plus 77% from the turn onwards after evading an attack. He then gets an additional attack plus 77% from that turn onwards after evading an attack as the first attacker. So that means once he dodges, he just gets an attack and defense boost of 77%. It doesn't say till the end of the turn. He just needs to dodge one time, and he'll have attack and defense plus 77% on top of everything. But you have to be in the first slot to get the attack bonus. He then gets an additional key plus 1 up to 7 and attack and defense and crit chance plus 11% up to 77%. So that means after 7 dodges, which you can get on turn 1, frame 1, He'll have an additional key of +7, an additional attack 77% and defense 77%, and a 77% chance to crit. Putting that along with all of the other reps of Universe 7 units that give crit from their passives and from their super attacks, I just don't see a reason to give him crit unless you're just trying to speed run and kill something literally on the first turn. That's the only way I can see it, that you would need to even give him crit, because he's got it all built into there. He's got it all built into there. If you didn't know, this AGL UI Goku right here, who will be EZA Awakening on Global's 9th anniversary, probably towards the end of July, unfortunately. The very dead end, as you can see on JP, they got it literally on the 29th of January. Actually, no, they got it, not January, but, and it was like the 22nd of February, so it was literally the dead end. But if you look at his, you give raise allies attack, or a chance to perform a crit by 7%, and then if it's his 18 key super, it's raising allies' chance to perform a crit by 7% for 2 turns. So even if you're not on the same rotation with this Goku right here, you'll be giving everyone a 7% crit chance. Not to mention the fact that Evo Blue Vegeta that gets an EZA as well with that unit does the exact same thing. You can have a constant percentage increase of 14% pretty much on giving this guy crit. So, I mean, he's got 77%, and he's got the 14%, and he's got the 10% already built from his hidden potential because he's an STR type, so he starts off with 5 crit already built in, which, for all those that don't know, every 1 level in the hidden potential node for additional attacks and crit is 2% chance. So, a level 5 crit in the hidden potential is actually 10% chance. And for additionals, like you can see on the side here, a level 6 would be a 12% chance. So, that is my opinion for his hidden potential build. I'm going to show you his defensive markers now. Now, keep in mind, this one is at 55%. This is a 55% build, compliments of Halvard. Thank you, dude. 55%, he's not looking too hot. I'm not gonna, you know, mince words with you here. He's not looking too hot. More than likely, you're not double supering. I really hope people understand that you will not be double supering very often with this guy, especially if the only additionals he has is with his hidden potential. You would have to go full additional, like 25 additional, in order to even remotely see additionals really popping off, because then at 25 additional you're at 50% chance. Anything less than that, and your average is going to just be 1 super attack. So on average, for most players, you're only going to be at a freaking 588% or 588k defense, fully built up from his passive at 55%. So I mean, you're not gonna additional really at 55% anyways. The most you could give Goku at 55% is a level 7 with a silver and a bronze equip. But even then, like, if we take into consideration of him on just a standard rainbow 200% build, all of his defensive links activated, I mean, even if you consider all that at 18 key super at rainbow, he gets about 200k extra defense, which isn't much. It's really not much. It's 740k defense with no guard, with no damage reduction. He's just a sitting duck. So I can't express enough that in today's 9th anniversary content, you will just get smoked. You will just get smoked. He is truly a dodge or die unit at this point. He's still very good. He still hits very hard. He can hit, like, I believe I've seen him hit 20 mil on Rainbow. You know, with all the buffs that reps of Universe 7 get, I'm about to show you the real buffs. It's not a surprise that he can hit harder and have a much higher defense. So if you're running double Android 17 and 18 as leaders, and you're constantly giving the 25% attack boost, or the constant boost from their super attack, and then you're getting everything linked up, 100% rainbow link, then you can, on average, at least hit 1 million defense. They really raise the bar there. And if he can magically double super with an additional 40% support on top of that, which is probably never going to happen, you could hit 1.4 mil. I don't think you'll ever hit 1.4. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, even on current teams right now. It's just very unrealistic. So on average, if you're somewhere in between, like you're 69, 79%, probably expect his defense on 18 key super fully built up, probably to be more around the 600 range, maybe even still 500, but yeah, 600 range is probably going to be your average if you're only at 1 or 2 dudes. 55% only 500, 200% or 100% fully built up rainbowed, 700k. So yeah, his defense is not that great. His defense is just not that great in my personal opinion. I wish it was better, but it's just really not that much better, unfortunately. So, but like I said, if you really want to rock the crit build and additional build, by all means, go for it. I completely understand your argument for wanting to just make this dude hit hard and move on. I get it. For everyone else that wants to build him optimally based on what his kit is and the current content of the game, I would highly suggest full dodge and put the rest into additional. And pray that he dodges, because he needs to dodge to fully get to that 77% crit chance that he does have built in, even at 55%. So, anyways, guys, global players, thank you for watching. Good luck, and have a good day and a good night.